Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Sports Talk and the Success Table. I am Zach Barnett. Let's get into this interview today. But before that, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to get all our up-to-date content. Let's get into it. And I wanted to start the interview off with, how did you get involved with football as a kid, man?
Oh, shoot. My oldest brother played football. He was 6 years older than me. So by the time I figured things out, I was watching football and liked it and thought he was cool. So I wanted to be like him. So that's kind of how I got involved in football. And my dad always watched, the NFL. So it was just natural that I pick it up.
Yes, sir. Hey, I forgot to mention, thanks for joining the show today. But as a kid, who else were some of your role models looking up to at some of football athletes?
My dad and brother liked the Dallas Cowboys, so I was a Dallas Cowboys fan. So it was Roger Staubach, Tony Dorsett, Drew Pearson, Ed Too Tall Jones, guys like that.
I hear you, man. Hey, the Cowboys, they were forced to be reckoned with, for sure.
Definitely.
My next question for you, going in the 6th round of the NFL draft, what were some of the preparations that you took to fill out a role on the Green Bay Packers, the roster?
Yeah, well, I knew that basically being a 6th rounder, there's about a 50-50 chance that you're going to be kept. And then when I got to training camp, there was 2 number 95s. So that was even more in my face that, the possibility that you're not going to be here very long. And so it just made you work and want to do whatever you could to get on the roster. And that's basically what I did, played special teams and, just really worked at the craft and tried to learn from the older guys.
Definitely. So in that Green Bay uniform, what helped you prepare your steps and your journey to the 95 season, your free agency season, going to Buffalo? What are some of the things that you learned in that Green Bay Packer uniform?
Well, I was like a jack of all trades, master of none. And
Sure.
They basically, Buffalo just said, hey, we want you to play outside backer and rush the passer in passing situations. That's all. Because I believe it was in 94, might have been 93, that I started at 4 different positions for the Packers. And so when you do that, you have to be good at a lot of things, but never really honing in on one thing. So, when they just let me do my thing at one position, I got to be good at it because all I did was study film and work on the one position.
Definitely, man. So going into that free agency season for you, what did you look for when choosing your next team?
Well, part of it was a team that would have a chance to win and treat players right. And I had an agent that had a guy out at Buffalo, and I knew what they were like. And I was just hoping to get a chance to, have them offer me. And they did. And I jumped at the chance because I knew, they had gone to 4 straight Super Bowls and they had a defense that was fairly aggressive, and they had Bruce Smith, of course,
Sure.
and Cornelius Bennett. So I knew that there was a lot of talent there, and the offense still was good. They still had Jim Kelly and Andre Reed and Thurman Thomas, and that was pretty lethal. So, to have those guys on the other side of the ball definitely helps the defense.
For sure. So that the 17.5 sacks that year, what did you learn from Wade Phillips to help you produce that many sacks and be the defensive player of the year?
Well, yeah, he believed in me and turned me loose. You know, he just said, "Hey," he and Ted Cottrell, who was the linebacker coach, just said, "Hey, you know what? We really don't care where you line up, but at the snap of the ball, you got to be here." So, you know, I had played enough positions, and I kind of started to at Green Bay. I started to during practice, I would try things on the offense, and then after the play, I would ask them, why did that work and why didn't that work? And they would tell me, well, I'm coached, when you do this, I automatically do this. And so I started thinking about that, and so then I started using that against the offense because I knew what their mindset was. And so when Wade Phillips and Ted Cottrell basically said, "Hey, you know, line up wherever you want, mess with people, but at the snap of the ball, this is your responsibility," I was like, "Hey, this is this is going to be good," because I had the ability to watch film and to remember things at the spur of the moment. If you would go back and watch the Detroit Green Bay Packer game when we held Barry Sanders to -1 yard rushing, you'll see me sometimes playing outside linebacker, and the quarterback would make an audible. I would walk down over the guard to hear what the quarterback had to say, and then I would start pointing, telling basically the defense where the play was going, what it was, and where it was going. And, you know, God gave me the ability to remember those things and to kind of sear it in my brain and to be able to process it, you know, almost instantaneously and spit it back out. And so I used that. I studied a lot. You know, it didn't just happen. It
Definitely,
wasn't
man.
that, you know, that I had a photographic memory or anything, but once you see it enough, it kind of sears it in your brain. And I was able to use that to help me and to produce those sacks that year. Of course, it also helps to have Cornelius Bennett and Bruce Smith and Ted Washington and Phil Hansen on the defense too.
This concludes our episode today, folks. We greatly appreciate the support. And if you're not a subscriber yet, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to get all our up-to-date content. And if you like this video, hit the like button. We greatly appreciate it. We welcome you back